Hello. Today we're doing some exhaust stuff on my Evo. Hopefully we're going to finish the cat board. We've got a 100 cell cat, which I think is not going to work because the O2 bung is facing this way and it needs to be over here facing that way. But we're going to try and put it on and see if it works. We've got a second-hand Invidia front pipe, which we're going to stick on. I'm going to mock it up. I need to get a bung put in here for a wideband sensor, but we're going to get it on there for now, make sure it fits. And we have a brand new Invidia dump pipe, which I just realized doesn't come with the turbo dump gasket, which I'm not overly pleased about. It does look like there's one in the car, so we're gonna have to reuse that. Let me show you the current setup. So fortunately, because we did the hub tube manifold the other day, we do have fairly decent access into the dump pipe, which is just there. We've got the O2 sensor sticking out of it. It's a really weird design. I'm not sure if it's a custom setup. I don't know what it is. It seems to be a front pipe and dump pipe in one. It's only one piece. The whole thing's very rusted. You'll see when I get underneath the car. Let's get it off, put the Invidia stuff on. Hopefully it'll make the car a bit louder. Honestly, I think the car needs to be louder. It's too quiet for my liking. So we'll finish this, see how it sounds, and we'll run with that. The car is also throwing an intermittent cat code. The catalyst code says, looking it up, it says that my cat is dead. The car does have a stock cat, so hopefully putting the high flow cat on will fix that problem. But like I said, I'm not sure it's going to fit. So it's very much going to be a trial and error kind of day. As you can see, this thing's pretty horrible. It does look like it's custom. We also obviously have to get the O2 sensor out. What I'm thinking we do is we unplug it from back here where it plugs in, and we just take the sensor and cable out with it. We did get an O2 cable extension with the dump. I honestly don't know whether we're gonna need it, but I thought better just to get it just in case, so we'll have that. Yeah, we've got this thing loose so we can move it around. I don't want to take it off because it was a massive pain to get it on there, so I'm just gonna try and leave it on so we can just move it around a bit. Turns out there's actually 2 bolts up in there. There's the other one, so there's 5 bolts in the dump altogether. So I'm gonna get some penetrant on that and see what we can do. Alright, so we got these top 3 loosened. I tightened that one back up just so it's not putting any pressure on the bottom one. They weren't too tight, so I'm hoping the bottom ones, which are probably going to be trickier, are the same. Did it. Oh, that sucked. Alright, this is our dump and front pipe combination setup. I'm like 95% sure it's a custom job. I have to pull our front O2 sensor out of that now. That was a massive pain in the ass. I got stuck on this bolt. We eventually got it. Now it is off. Thank God. Because this thing looks dreadful. Not that you can really see it, but I knew it was there, so it was kind of pissing me off. This is a comparison size-wise. It looks the same to me, so I'm going to assume that's a 3-inch, as that's a 3-inch. The dump is obviously quite different. We got these 2 pipes coming in. That's all one big massive unit, so that's going to be a lot better. We did obviously need the O2 extension, as on this, the O2 sensor's mounted up here, whereas on the Invidia it's down here. Now I'm going to start with the dump. I'm going to mount the dump, then I'm going to mount the front pipe, and then I'm going to see what angle that puts it at, and then I can try and work out whether this is going to work or not. And we're definitely going to have to come from the bottom of this one. So the massive problem with buying parts secondhand and not having stock parts is that I do not have the correct bolts that I need to mount the Invidia front pipe to the dump pipe. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if the Invidia front pipe comes with the bolts, but the dump definitely didn't, so that's not ideal. I'm gonna try and go to Bunnings and find some high tensile ones. It is a spring bolt. I can't find any around, so I'm gonna try and pick up some springs as well and kind of make my own, which isn't the best, but that's kind of what we're gonna have to do to get this to work. Alright, we picked up some washers. Bunnings didn't have any M10 by 1.25 thread pitch high tensile bolts. I had to go to a bolt shop, but I got a heat now, so I'm all sorted for a while. My plan is to cut this spring in half and make my own exhaust bolt. I don't really know how it's going to turn out, but I want to get it done today, and there's no other choice, so we're doing DIY bolts now. Alright, we've got the dump and the front pipe pretty much mocked up where it's going to sit. It's not done up properly for now because I need to work out the cap placement, so next step is I can't quite tell whether the high flow is going to work or not. I don't think it is, but there's only one way to know for sure, and that's pull our old stock cat off, which is that thing, and bang it up there and see what happens. Alright, got our stock cat versus our 100 cell cat. As you can see, the angle for the sensor is quite different. So we kind of got the cat mocked up, but unfortunately, you can see down there, let me zoom in. She don't line up. Alright, so as we thought, cat didn't fit. I'm gonna have to get the flange re-welded on at the right angle, which is gonna be an exhaust shop job. I'm gonna have to go there because Jess's car needs a res because the Invidia N2 drones horribly, and we need a wideband bung put in this front pipe, so we might just try and take everything there, get it all done in one hit. But for now, let's put the stock cat back in, get this thing together, button up the front pipe and dump, and see how it sounds. Alright, so we just cut the end off that spring. This is pretty much how we're going to run our DIY exhaust spring bolt. Not the best setup ever, but I should do the job. Ah, idiot. I just did the bolts up for the front pipe, but I haven't even done the dump up yet. Alright, this is very much not the plan, but it seems as though we're going to have to take the radiator out to get the dump on. Can't get any of the bolts in. Hoping if we can get the radiator out, then we can reach some of the bolts. Bruh, this is turning in to a big process, but might as well just get on with it, not a big deal. So on the Evo radiator, which is behind this damn pipe, I've got a little butterfly looking clip thing up here. We turn that, and then all the green juice is going to come out of this little thing on the bottom. Alright, we've got all the fluid drained out of the radiator. Now we've got to remove the upper and the lower intercooler pipe, which is down there. You move this back, pull that off. I'm going to stick one of these in each of them so fluid doesn't come out and go all over my shit. I've got to disconnect the fan, disconnect these things, and then it should just pull out, I think. I've never pulled the radiator out before, so it's going to be interesting. I made a mess. First time I've ever taken a radiator out of the car. It's out, that was pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Bit of a pain in the ass, considering we're gonna fill back up fluid, but it is what it is. We definitely have a lot more room to work now around the dump, so let's get to work putting that on, and hopefully we can reach our bolts and get them all done up now. I end up having to pull all the nuts off the manifold and kind of like pulling the manifold forward to get that nut done up down in there. That's now done. Put the manifold back on, and then we can put the front pipe on. This is honestly a lot more work than I thought it would be. It's now the next day. I had to go buy a little stubby spanner to try and fit down in there, which worked. Let's get this thing back together. Dump pipe is a lot harder than what you would expect. All right, we've got the dump in, we've got the front pipe in, cat's back on, so the exhaust is finished. Next thing is put the radiator back in, and then we can start this thing. Alright, the entire car is back together. A2 sensors ran, radiators back in, intercooler parts are back on, low intercooler hot side parts back on. All I gotta do is bang the coolant back in it, and then we can start her up. Alright, got the radiator filled up with coolant, it's not leaking. Coolant?
coolant. Got the radiator filled up with coolant, it's not leaking at all, which is nice. Let's start this thing up. We'll bang the heater on obviously so that can do its thing, and then we'll be able to hear the exhaust. Alright, so it sounds definitely different in this area. Honestly, I'm not sure whether I have an exhaust leak or that's just how the dump sounds. It's a lot throatier. We're going to finish bleeding that out. We've got the heater on, so I'll let that run for a little bit, let all the air get out of the line, and that's that. Alright, that's the end of it. That was a pain. It took me a day and a half. Definitely take the radiator and the turbo kit off if you're going to do your dump. We may or may not have an exhaust leak, I'm not sure. I'll wait for it to cool down, turn it on and try again. But thanks for watching. Go watch this video. Goodbye.